Hey, what's up guys, it's Ash. As you can see from the title of this video, today I will be reviewing the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation, because let's face it, who doesn't want to be matte and poreless? This foundation says that it is best for normal to oily skin. Now in previous videos I have mentioned that I don't necessarily have oily skin, but I do have normal combination to dry skin, where I'll have a little bit of dry patches like in my nose as well as in my mouth area. However, I did read some reviews and watch some YouTube videos, and this foundation works pretty well on dry skin as well. So I just wanted to see how this foundation is going to hold up on my skin. Now this foundation comes in, I believe, 12 to either 16 different shades, and I want to say, this is not a first impression, but I do want to say that it does have a medium coverage. I'm not necessarily sure if you can really build the coverage, because I have put on more than one layer. I'm not too sure if it's kind of given me more coverage or it's kind of the same, but I want to definitely say that it is a medium coverage foundation. It definitely is matte, and as well as it minimizes fine lines. I have some fine lines on my forehead, so I find that it does minimize that, as well as your pores. And I'm just going to read you what it says on the back of the bottle, and it says that it mattifies and refines pores, that it matches natural skin tone, natural seamless finish, and the rest is in French. So it comes in a glass bottle like this. You just take off the lid. I am in the shade, 330 Toffee Caramel. The thing I don't like about this foundation, I'll tell you right off the bat, is the fact that there's no pump. And I find that foundations where there's no pump, you do tend to lose a lot of product just by pouring it onto the back of your hand. So I do prefer foundations that have a pump. However, that being said, you can also purchase an airless pump. If I can find a link, I will put in the description box, but if not, you can definitely Google airless foundation pumps, and they're pretty much universal in size, and I know that they work a lot for foundations that don't have a pump like this. So I mean, that's kind of a downside for me. I do definitely prefer foundations with a pump, and I find that not only do you save product, but I find that it's a lot more sanitary rather than just dumping this all out on here. I have been using this foundation for a couple weeks, and I'm just gonna dot it on half of my face so you guys can have an idea. And the reason why I am dotting it is because this foundation does have a tendency to dry quickly, so, which is good if you're quick with your makeup, but it's not good if you like to take time, spend time doing your makeup. Oh yeah, and the brush that I'm using the Morphe Flat Top Kabuki brush, and this is the S94. And I'm just kind of patting it, sort of buffing it into my skin as I go along. And just make sure you drag it down your neckline, your jawline, sorry, so that there is no harsh line and that it blends really well. Okay, so I have applied the foundation to the right side of my face, and I'm not too sure if the lighting is washing me out a little bit, but I can definitely see a huge difference. Of course, it does provide a lot more coverage. I would say that the coverage is definitely a medium coverage, but yeah, I like it. Like I said, I have been using this foundation for about a couple weeks, and I have absolutely no issues with this foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I did set my foundation with a pressed powder. The pressed powder that I am using is the Makeup Forever Pro Finish pressed powder, and I'm in the shade 170. And you don't necessarily need a powder to set this foundation, because like I said, it does dry very matte. But if you guys don't know, something about me that you may not know is I have to set my foundation with a powder, so that just goes without saying. But keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to use a powder, because it really does give you a matte finish. I find that the matte finish is more of a satin matte finish, so you don't necessarily look really flat. The other thing is, I have noticed that during the times that I have been using this foundation, is that over some time the foundation will cling to my dry patches, especially the dry patches around my chin as well as my nose. Not to a noticeable degree, you really got to be like all up in my face to kind of see it, but generally speaking, you can't really tell, but it does tend to cling to the dry patches, so I would definitely say that would be a con in my opinion. So in terms of prepping your face, I have tried an array of different primers, and I find that the primer that works the best with this foundation for me personally is the Benefit Professional Primer. Since this foundation does tend to cling to dry patches if you do have dry skin, another thing that I use to help prep my skin during my skincare routine that has really helped keep my skin hydrated is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. And this is the gel cream, and I have it for extra dry skin, and I freaking love this stuff. Like, one of my girls from work recommended it to me, and I have been in love. Like, guys, like, seriously. And I haven't even been using it for that long. But I absolutely love that stuff, and I find that using that in combination with a really good moisturizer and my primer, the Benefits Professional Primer, I find that that really helps alleviate the dry patches that I have on my chin and around my nose area, and that really helps with the makeup application, and it really prevents it from sticking to any dry patch. In terms of application tools, I have used my fingers, which is what it says on the bottle to use. I'm not really a fan of using my fingers so much when applying foundation, but I have, and I didn't necessarily like that application. I have tried the Beauty Blender. I don't necessarily like using the Beauty Blender for this application just because I find that because the product dries so fast, like I'm blending and I'm not really catching up to the product. Like, it's drying before I can really blend it out, and I find that it looks really patchy. However, if you do blend it properly, quickly, and efficiently, using the Beauty Blender will give you more of a natural look. In this video, I did use a flat top kabuki brush. Like I said, this is the Morphe brush in S94, and the top is just like that, so it's just a flat top kabuki. I absolutely love this brush. Like, I use it for every single freaking foundation I use, and I just love the way that it stipples and it buffs everything out. I find that it looks flawless, so I absolutely love using this brush to apply this foundation. I've tried using it different ways, like dumping it out on my hand and dipping the brush into the product on my hand and then kind of going like that on my face. That way I do find that I get a lot of coverage doing it that way. However, I waste a lot of product. So I prefer to dump it on the back of my hand and dot it in and then kind of work my way around it. Another brush that you can use is this is a dome kabuki brush, and I find that the dome kabuki brush as well as a flat top kabuki brush work phenomenal. Maybe the dome a little bit better, but I don't know, I have a thing for this flat top Morphe kabuki brush. Morphe, you're doing good things, guys, doing good things. So yeah, in terms of application, those are definitely hands down my favorites. I can't remember the exact retail price. I think I got it at Walmart for $10.96. I know that they do have the powdered foundations. However, when it comes to powder foundations, I'm a little bit more picky, and I do tend to gravitate towards the more high-end pressed powders such as the Makeup Forever or MAC, but I have heard some good reviews on the powder foundation. Like I said, it comes in, I believe, 12 to 16 different shades. I have read some reviews stating that the darkest shade isn't really women of color friendly. However, I have no complaints at all whatsoever. Like I previously mentioned, I am in the color 330, which is toffee caramel, and I was able to color match with ease. Like, I'm really happy with it. For a drugstore foundation, it definitely gets a thumbs up in my view. I like first impressions, but I don't necessarily find them that beneficial, especially if you're really interested in trying out a product, because you may try it in the beginning and you may either hate it or love it, and after a couple uses you may either hate it or love it again. So first impressions for me, they're absolutely fun to watch on YouTube, but they're not necessarily beneficial. So this is more of a review after I have been using the product for a really long time, and overall, like, I really like it. I love the way how it feels on my face. It's not heavy or cakey, it's very light, and it gives me a really nice powdery look, and I think it takes very well in pictures. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the product. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. This foundation definitely gets a thumbs up in my video. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you tried this foundation, if you hate it, if you love it, and let me know of some other good drugstore foundations, because I'm always on the market of trying to find really good drugstore foundations. So I really like this one, Maybelline. You guys did a good job, and thank you so much for watching. watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!